Buenos días, niños. Good morning, good morning. Welcome to Spanish class. Bienvenido a la clase de español. Oh, yeah, here you go. Yeah, okay, well, thank you guys. Thank you so much for coming to class on time. That's very important. And thank you also for putting your phones away in your assigned phone organizer. So I'll tell you what, if we're done with this lesson earlier, I'll give you guys like 5 minutes to 8 minutes to use your electronics for some Duolingo. And those that didn't bring their phones or any electronics, you guys can actually use one of the theme-related board games that I brought today, okay? So how is everybody feeling today? ¿Cómo se sienten? ¿Cómo están? Bien, muy bien, me alegro. I'm very happy to hear that. Did you guys enjoy your weekend? It was very gorgeous outside. Very, very beautiful. Estaba muy soleado, very sunny. Oh, nice. Yes, I actually enjoyed my weekend. Also, I had a nice walk with my family. Anybody did anything special? Anything fun? Oh, barbecue. Yes, it was a great temperature for barbecuing. All right. Well, okay, guys. So before I dive into the lesson, I actually want to touch base with you about something. So this is a Spanish 1 class, Spanish for beginner, as you guys know, and we learned last week. So I don't expect everybody to know the language. We're going to learn together. That's what I'm here to help you guys. And we're going to, learn from each other, communicate. But what I do want to say is that after the next, maybe like in the next 2 weeks or so, we want to try to immerse into the Spanish language a little more. We want to try to, try to talk more, use the language more once we get more comfortable with it, of course. It may take more than, maybe it'll be in the next 3 weeks or so, but we are going to try to get into Spanish speaking more. Now, but for this week and the next week, I want us to try to just use English for the most part, and we're going to be translating words here and there. And the reason for this is because of the unit that we're going to be introducing this week. I actually need you guys to speak English, and then again, like I said, we're going to be throwing in some Spanish words here and there and translating. Okay. Now that we covered that, I have a question for you guys. How many Spanish words do you think you know? Angela? 5? Well, I think you know more than that. Vladimir? 38? Okay, that's a good number. Well, how about if I tell you guys that you know more Spanish words than you think you know? Yes, it's possible. Yes. So, has anybody ever heard of a cognate? Okay, well, you guys, today we're going to be learning about cognates. And cognates are actually, they're words from 2 different languages. They have the same origin, and they look similar, or maybe spell the same. They sound similar, and they are pronounced a little different, but some of them are spelled almost identical, if not just by a couple of words, a couple of letters difference. So I'm gonna ask you guys to look over here, okay, at the Promethean board, and we're going to be watching a short video, and my friend here is gonna give you guys a quick explanation of what a cognate is, and then we'll dive into the lesson. All right, so watch closely.
I've been thinking, you probably know more Spanish words than you think you know. Pedro, do you agree? That's because there are these things called cognates. Cognates are words, and in this example, Spanish words, that look and sound very similar to words in English. Let's take a look at some examples, and let's see if you can tell me what these words mean. Look at this one, restaurante. Restaurant, obvious. What about this one? Imposible. Yes, it's spelled the same as impossible, except minus one S. How about policía? That one is police. And here's one's a little more difficult, but difícil. It means difficult. Sometimes cognates are spelled the same, like the word hospital is spelled the same as hospital, or the word animal is spelled the same as animal. So next time you're reading something in Spanish, don't get overwhelmed. First step is look for cognates, because you probably can figure out or understand more than you first think.
All right. Okay, and as my friend here said, you guys probably understand more Spanish than what you think, and that's good news. Why? Because learning a second language, period, it can become a little stressful. You may get anxiety, you may get nervous, but I'm here to tell you that not only with practice and just coming into class on time, doing your assignment, but also learning these cognates, getting yourself familiar with words that are similar in English and in Spanish, it's really going to help you at least start understanding the second language a lot quicker. Okay, so let's go in. I would like everybody to keep an eye up here. Okay, let's pay attention. And we are going to begin our lesson on cognates. All right. Bear with me. All right. Los cognatos, cognates. All right, so let's see. Well, what is a cognate? Cognates are words in two languages that have the same meaning, okay? Look similar and might have the same pronunciation, okay? And the good news is that approximately 30 to 40% of English words has a related word in Spanish. That's pretty good news, for us learning learning Spanish, right? And so cognates are words pretty much that look like the words that you already know in English. Like for instance, what my friend said in the video, animal in Spanish is animal. They are spelled the same. Those are perfect cognates, okay? They're spelled the same, they sound different, but they look the same, okay? So why do we have to learn them, okay? This is very important. They help you learn Spanish quickly, okay? Once you see the cognates, you'll be able to learn Spanish a lot quicker. Like today, when we're done with this lesson, within an hour, you guys are most likely going to have mastered at least, if not more, 10 Spanish words, okay? They help increase your vocabulary. Again, your Spanish vocabulary. That's awesome because you'll be able to communicate more with Spanish-speaking families. When you go to restaurants, when you look at signs that are in Spanish, this is really going to help you increase your vocabulary and help you understand Spanish text. That's pretty cool, okay? Because that means when you look at an article that's in Spanish, you can probably use the Spanish cognates that you see there and start making connections with the English words that you already know. And you can use that as a context clue, which will help you understand somewhat what the passage is about or the sentence. Okay, so that's pretty good, I think, right? What does everybody think? Good, yeah. This is really exciting, guys. I'm really excited to teach you guys about cognates because they're really helpful. And as I just mentioned, they decrease second language anxiety. We don't want anxiety. I know everything that you learn the first time is, it's a little nerve-wracking. But again, when you learn strategies to help you combat whatever you're learning, it'll make it easier for you, right? And that's what cognates will do for you in this class. It'll make it a lot easier for you to learn. And they're just everywhere. They're everywhere. Cognates guys are in menus, because the Spanish and English language, they share a lot of food words, like broccoli is el brócoli in Spanish, and asparagus is asparago in Spanish, and banana is banana. So you see, guys, this is why this is really important for us to understand these vocabulary. All right, so you will actually be surprised how many cognates you already recognize. So let's go try this together. Let's all try this together, okay, as a class. Okay, so over here, these are all my Spanish cognates, right? And I'm going to read them out loud to you guys, and you tell me if one of them is familiar to you. Familia, música, computadora, radio, profesora. Okay, raise your hand if you recognize any of those words, if you've seen them, if they look familiar to you in the English language. Okay, Joseph, which one it looks familiar to you? Oh, he said música, música, right. And what word in English does that sound like? Music. Good, good. Okay, Jenny? Oh, she said radio, radio. And what does radio sound like in English? Radio, right. Radio and radio are actually perfect cognates, and we will be learning about perfect cognates in the next couple of days. Those are just cognates that look exactly alike or spelled the same, okay? Okay, anybody else want to give it a try? Okay, well, let's go ahead and see what these are then in English. So, familia is family, música is music, computadora is computer, radio is radio, profesora is professor. All right, guys. So before we continue with our lesson, remember we have learned about these words last week. Okay, so these words, I post them up here because on the next assignment that we're going to be working on together, these are going to help you complete that assignment. Okay, these are not cognates. They're just their keywords or clues to help you with the next assignment that we're going to be doing. Okay, so let's go ahead. Okay, so let's try this sentence. Marta es una doctora y estudia medicina. Okay, so I wrote this sentence down here, so I would like for you guys to go ahead and take out your red Spanish journal, and I want you to copy that sentence down in your journal, and we are going to be working on this sentence together, okay, as a class. So we're going to be looking for, we're going to first start off with the first word we see here. This says Martha, right? Martha, Marta. And what do we know about Martha? It's very easy. Angel. Yeah, Martha is a name. It's a name. Marta in Espanol, Martha in English. Okay, so we know that's a name. Okay, and now if we go here, okay, es in English is what? Jacob? Right, it's is. Okay, so we're just going to put that right here, is. Okay, good. All right. So the next word is una. And again, if we go up here, una is Angeles. A. Okay, so we write that there. Okay, so I want everybody to write that down also in your journals. Okay, and then let's go to this keyword here. We look up here, and this is, remember, this is the letter Y, which in Spanish is E, but it actually means, what does it mean, class? And, right, so let's just write and up here. Perfect. Okay, so now I know Martha is a blank and blank blank. Okay, so this is talking about Martha, right? So let's go ahead and we're going to look at the cognates together. Okay, so over here, class, I see this word, doctora. Can you repeat that after me? Doctora. Okay, so I see right here, doctora seems very similar to the word doctor, right? Seems very similar to the word doctor. So the only difference is if we didn't have the A here, it will be spelled doctor, and in Spanish it's doctora. Okay, so right here we already, this was the root word that helped me determine that this is a cognate. Okay, so let's go ahead and see if we can find another cognate. Okay, so let's look at this. Okay, so the next one here, estudia. It's a little more difficult, but if we repeat it and we say it over and over, let's see, estudia, 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 estudia. Okay, I already know it sounds to me like an English word that I know. And in this case, I'm gonna go look for the root word. What root words might help me? And I see here, this is my little key right here, and it says studi. Estudia, studi. Does anybody know what word in English sounds like this one, studi, or sounds or spells similar to it? Jefferson. Yeah, studies, studies. Okay, so we're gonna write studies over here. Okay. All right, so we found our second cognate. So let's go to our third one here. Okay, so this one here, this one is medicina. Can everybody repeat that? Medicina. Okay, so this one sounds very much like a word that I know. And does anybody want to give it a try? Jack. Right, it sounds like medicine. Yeah, and actually if you take the A, just like we did in doctor, this is the word right here, medicine. It's spelled very similar. The difference is that in Spanish it has an A, and in English we add the E, right? Okay, so we already figured out our cognates, and we also already knew these words, right? Because we had the chart here that helped us, so we were able to translate this sentence. So why don't we read the sentence in Spanish together, and then we're going to read it again in English. Okay, so Marta es una doctora y estudia medicina. All right, so let's see. Marta is a doctor and studies medicine. All right, so you guys saw that we were able to, with the words we already knew and the name, and then we found the cognates, we were able to translate this sentence in English. Okay, and that's what cognates do. It does. It helps you find clues in text. All right, so let's go ahead. Now it's your turn. Okay, so I want you guys to try this with a partner. Okay, write down the sentence. Go ahead and write down the sentence, and I'm going to give you 2 minutes to try to figure out which one is the cognate. So we're just going to go ahead and work with a partner. If you prefer to work independently, that's okay also. Okay, class, so can anybody tell me what's the cognate for this sentence? Does anybody? Let's read the sentence together, okay? So it says, frutas y vegetales son importantes. And again, so I'm going to write the sentence here. Okay, vegetales son importantes. And remember, let's look at our chart to get those keywords again. So over here, remember we said E. E means and, okay? Just so we can try to translate this sentence. And son means are, right? Okay, so we already know that, right? Okay, so now can somebody give me a cognate? And please tell me how you figured out that that's a cognate. Okay, Vladimir. Frutas. Okay, so Vladimir says frutas is a cognate. Okay, and what makes you think that it's a cognate? Yeah, it's spelled very similar to a word that you know. And can you tell me what word you think that is? What cognate in English? Right, fruit. Right, right. So if you take the A and the S, it's fruit. It sounds similar to fruit, actually. Spelled a little different, but sounds similar. Okay, next, let's try the next cognate. Jacqueline, what cognate did you find here? Okay, so she says vegetales is a cognate. All right, does everybody agree? Right, okay, so Jacqueline, what made you think that is a cognate? Okay, so this is spelled, yes, very similar to vegetable. Right, you see? We just need to add the little B right there, right? Correct. Okay, and the last cognate, okay, Jose, okay, he says it's importante. And can you tell me what English cognate this is similar to? Right, important. You're right, important. And what makes you think it sounds like important? I mean, it's the English cognate. You're right, yes. It's spelled very similar, okay? And if you take the E out, it's, it's spelled pretty much the same, okay? And it sounds the same, okay? So you are correct. Good. You guys are doing awesome. You guys did great. So we said frutas is fruit, vegetales is vegetables, and importante is important. All right. Okay, so let's try to read that sentence together. How about we try that? So, fruits and vegetables are important, right? Frutas y vegetales son importantes. Muy bien, muy bien. You guys are like doing so well, and you pretty much mastered this for the first time. Not only were you guys able to find cognates, but you guys were able to even figure out what the text said. You guys are like cognate detectives. All right, so now I believe you guys are ready to try to work on your own. Okay, so in this next lesson, in this assignment, we're going to be doing something very similar to what we did, but it actually has more text. So you guys are going to be cognate detectives, and you're going to read the text in the top, okay, and you're going to find the cognate. You're going to write it down, the Spanish cognate. You're going to write it down here in the first column, and then you're going to translate the English cognate, okay? So you guys have 15 minutes to do this. We're going to work on this quietly, independently, and we're not going to look at anybody's paper, okay? I want you guys to actually work on this on your own. If you need any help, raise your hand. I am going to be walking around, and just let me know if anybody needs any assistance, okay? So you guys have 15 minutes. All right, well, thank you so much for bringing the papers to me, okay? And guys, you guys worked so well. You mastered this lesson, and before you go home today, I actually want you guys to look at the piles that I have here. I have some newspapers in Spanish and some articles. I would like you guys to take one of those newspapers or articles at home, and I want you to kind of do what you did today. You're going to be cognate detectives. You're going to look for the cognate in Spanish, and you're going to circle them, write them down in your journal, and we're going to discuss to see those are cognates, and we're going to start a cognate word wall, and we're going to be using that to throughout the year to continue to become cognate detectives and learn more Spanish vocabulary, okay? And for my friends that actually prefer to listen to music, in Google Classroom, I just posted a couple of songs from Spanish singers like Shakira and Ricky Martin and Enrique Iglesias, and their songs have a lot of cognates, Spanish cognates there. So listen to that. You can watch the videos with it, and the lyrics are there. You can pause it and see if you can become a cognate detective by listening and reading. So you guys can try that as well. And okay, so before I give you guys your couple of minutes to use your phones or play the board game, I want to know if anybody can tell me what a cognate is. Amanda. Right, so cognates, remember cognates are words from two different languages. They share the origin and they sound the same. They sound similar. They mean the same thing. Okay, and they are spelled somewhat similar to each other, or some of them are spelled exactly alike. All right, and why are they important? Mark. Right, because the English and Spanish language share 30 to 40% words that are cognates, and they will help you learn the language quicker, right? And yeah, and they are everywhere, right? They are everywhere. Everywhere you look, there's a cognate. Like we just talked about lyrics, during lyrics, okay? So they are pretty much everywhere. Okay, all right, so, and are we gonna feel defeated that we're in this class in Spanish? No, right, we're gonna feel great. We're gonna learn a language, we're gonna learn together, we're gonna have some fun, and I am very excited for you guys, and you guys did such a wonderful job today. I'm confident that you guys are gonna do wonderful in Spanish, and I'm gonna take those papers home, I'm gonna look at them, and I'm gonna try to bring them back for next class so we could go over them and we'll see how we do, okay? So go ahead, and as promised, you guys can grab your electronics and work on Duolingo. You can play, and it doesn't have to be cognate, you can play any Spanish Duolingo games. Or my friends that don't have their electronics, I have a fun board game here, a cognate board game. And you can play with a friend, okay? See and figure out how many cognates you know. All right, so go ahead, guys. And when the bell rings, you guys are free to go to your next class, okay? Thank you.